Howdy everybody, David here, and this is another Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition Race Breakdown overview. And today's overview deals with the Gnome and its subraces, the Rock Gnome and the Forest Gnome. Now, we all know that the Gnome is an uncommon race in Dungeons & Dragons. They love to dwell in hills. They are a very small but very proud people. They're very curious, they're very mischievous, they love adventure, and they're a great addition to D&D 5e. Now, much like, well, just like every other race in D&D 5e, the Gnomes, they get a baseline type of feature system that, like the humans will get, the half-elves will get. But seeing that there are two different sub-races, being the Forest Gnome and the Rock Gnome, they're going to get some extra skills. It just depends on, you know, like for the Forest Gnome, they'll get certain things that will go on top of the Gnome, and then the Rock Gnome will get a couple more additional features to go on top of the baseline Gnome. So it gives you a lot of variety, and that's the great thing about D&D 5e is this race doesn't have to play this class, and this class is restricted by these races. You have the freedom to do whatever you choose and play any race and class combination, which is great. So we're going to go ahead and get started and take a look at the Gnome Traits for D&D 5e. So the first thing that you're going to get as a baseline Gnome, you will get +2 intelligence increase. You'll get a +2 intelligence increase to your intelligence ability score. Now, you could play a wizard. Wizard is an intelligence-based caster. It's a traditional. Anything that deals with intelligence, knock yourself out. There's the age for the Gnome. They basically mature the same rate as humans, and they're expected to settle down into adult life by around age 40. Now, they can live 350 to 500 years, so don't worry about your Gnome dying anytime soon. Your humans will die much sooner than the Gnomes. The alignments for the Gnome, it says primarily Gnomes are most often good, and those who tend toward law are sages, engineers, researchers, scholars, investigators, and inventors. And they love to tinker as well. Those who tend towards chaos are minstrels, tricksters, wanderers, or fanciful jewelers. Gnomes are good-hearted, and even the tricksters among them are more playful than vicious. But remember, another great thing about 5e is it's up to you what you want to play. So whatever is going to bring you the most fulfillment and give you the most joy in playing your character, choose the alignment that you want. Now, the size of the Gnomes, they're small. We all know that. Gnomes are between 3 and 4 feet tall and weigh about 40-50 pounds. And your speed, like the dwarf and the halfling, they're going to be 20. It's going to be 25 feet for you instead of 30 feet for the larger medium races. Now, the good thing about Gnomes, they're going to get dark vision, and this is where you're accustomed to the life underground, living in the hills, and you'll have superior vision in dark and dim conditions. So dark vision works like this. You can see dim light up to 60 feet of you as it were bright light outside. Now, if it's completely dark, like if you're in a dungeon or a cavern, your dark vision will let you see this complete darkness as a dim light. And your dim light and your bright light in dim light, you see these in shades of gray. So it's not like you get it's full color, it's in shades of gray. Now, you're also going to get Gnome Cunning, and this is where this is a really nice racial feature. This is where you have advantage on all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against magic. So you're not just getting one, you're getting 3 different saving throws advantage versus spells, magic. Now, what advantage means, if you do not know yet, advantage means that you'll take a d20, you'll roll it twice, and you'll take the best result. Now, disadvantage, even though disadvantage is not listed here, disadvantage works the same way but the opposite. You'll roll twice and take the lowest. So disadvantage really hurts. If you have to do a roll disadvantage, you're definitely going to feel it unless you luck out and get some good RNG. So languages, you can speak, read, and write Common and Gnomish, and the Gnomish language, which uses a Dwarvish script, is renowned for its technical treatises and its catalog of knowledge about the natural world. So that's everything that you get for being a gnome. And like I said, there's two subraces. There's the Forest Gnomes, and then there are the Rock Gnomes. So you get to choose one of those. So if you decide to go with the Forest Gnome, you're going to get to add, like what we have here, you're going to get to add another dex onto the 2 intelligence that you're already going to get. So you're going to get 2 int and 1 dex for your ability bonus. Really nice. You're also going to get Natural Illusionist, where this is going to give you the minor illusion cantrip, and you won't have, you can cast that as cantrips. You can cast that every single round if you like. Now, for Natural Illusionist, you're going to use your intelligence for your spellcasting ability for it, whether it be for your spell save DC or your spell attack modifier. So you will use intelligence. So if you're playing a class that has a different spellcasting ability, just make sure if you do use Natural Illusionist and use that minor illusion, then that will be based off illusion, intelligence, and everything else you have will be based off of your primary class. So don't get the two intermingled with one another, keep them separated. Now, as a Forest Gnome, you're also going to get Speak with Small Beasts, and through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas with small or smaller beasts. Forest Gnomes love animals and often keep squirrels, badgers, rabbits, moles, woodpeckers, and other creatures as beloved pets. So just get with your dungeon master, say, hey, can I have a small little pet? It's not like you're going to have a woodpecker that's going to go and attack for you. This is something that's just going to be fun for RP with you, your group, your dungeon master, and it'll bring a little bit more to the game, which is really nice. So the other gnome, let's go ahead and take a look at the Rock Gnome. Now the Rock Gnome, they get the same base traits as the gnome. Now, you're also going to get a +1 Constitution score on top of the intelligence. So every class needs Constitution. That's really nice. Now, the Rock Gnome is more of a tinker as well. So you're going to see with the next 2 of these racial bonuses, you're going to notice that the Forest Gnome was more animal and illusion orientated, and now the Rock Gnome, is more tinkering. So you're going to get Artificer's Lore as well, and this is whenever you make an intelligence history check related to magic items, alchemical objects, or technological devices, you can add twice your proficiency bonus instead of the proficiency bonus you would normally apply. So at level 1, you get a +2 proficiency bonus. Now if you do this intelligence history check, you would really add +4 because you're doubling your proficiency, and proficiency starts at +2 at level 1 all the way up to level 16 at a +6. So if you're 16, you would literally add +12. If it's an intelligence history check, related on the items, the alchemical objects, or the technological devices. Really nice. Now the last thing that you're going to get, and probably the coolest of all racial features, you're going to get Tinker. And this is where you have proficiency with the Tinker tools, artisan tools, and there are a lot of different tools in D&D 5e, and this is where you're going to have proficiency. Now you can use these tools and you can spend 1 hour and 10 gold pieces worth of materials to construct a tiny clockwork device. You'll be able to choose 3 different clockwork devices, and these will have a 5 armor class and they'll have 1 hit point. Now when you create these devices will cease to function after 24 hours unless sometime throughout the day you spend 1 hour repairing this item to keep it functioning. Or you can also use your action to dismantle it, and when you dismantle it, you can reclaim the materials used to create it. So you'll get your 10 gold worth of materials back, and you can use those same materials later or the next day to create something else. Now you can have up to all 3 of these items at one time, and the 3 different items that you can have are really fun, and they will add a lot of RP to your game. I mean, we have these in my games, and they are really fun. So the Clockwork Toy is the first one, and this is a you can make a clockwork animal, monster, or person, such as a frog, mouse, bird, dragon, or soldier. Now, when placed on the ground, this Clockwork Toy will move 5 feet across the ground on each of your turns in a random direction. So you would just roll a d8 and start at 1 and just go around, and wham, that Clockwork Toy will just go in that direction. And it makes noises, and depending on what you want to do, you can be more elaborate with it. Maybe your Clockwork Toy will do something cool, maybe breathe some fire or something like that. But just get with your DM. It's not going to be something that's going to attack for 20d6 damage, so don't think it's going to do anything like that. It's just some small little tinker toy. Now the next thing that you can do is the fire starter, and the device produces a miniature flame, which you can use to light a candle, maybe a torch, maybe even your pipe that you're smoking with pipe weed. Or maybe it'll walk over and set your campfire on. Maybe it'll set your camp on fire if it malfunctions. That's the whole great thing about these little toys, is it produces so much roleplay possibility, and I love this. Now, whenever you use this action, whenever you use this device, it will require you to use your action. And then the last one you can have is a music box. Now, whenever you open the music box, it'll play a single song at a moderate volume, and the box will stop playing whenever it reaches the end of the song or whenever you close the lid. So, hey, fun times. That Rock Gnome has the best. The Tinker is definitely probably the best racial feature in the game. You can have the most fun with it. So, but anyways, there you go, guys. There's the Rock Gnome, and let's pull out one more gnome. Let's pull out the Deep Gnome, because the Deep Gnome is actually mentioned in the player's handbook. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, next month when the Prince of the Apocalypse comes out, I believe that the Deep Gnome is going to be a new race for D&D 5e. So, I kind of want to show you, I took this out of my monster manual, I scanned it really quick, and the Deep Gnome is, basically, they're from the Underdark, and this is going to be a new race in D&D 5e. And it's probably going to give you a dex bonus, because you can see that, the Forest Gnome, they did not get a dex bonus. The Rock Gnome, they got a con bonus. So I'm thinking probably the Deep Gnome may get either a strength or a dex bonus. And then you can see that they'll get Gnome Cunning. You could expect to see probably some of these features on the race whenever you see it in the new book when it comes out in March 2015. So there you go. I wanted to just bring this up, let you know that the Deep Gnome is coming out pretty soon. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it'll be good, just like the other gnomes. So there you go, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you want to play a D&D 5e character, I have over 840 character sheets on my website at tabletopping.net. Every level in D&D 5e from 1 to 20, every class, every archetype, 840. They're on these nice 3-page PDFs. Download them to your iPhone, to your tablet, print them out on your computer, take them to your game, and go. So, anyways, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you next time.